As you are now telling us how you will even globally contribute to the changes, can you tell me how these changes will actually transform the way people communicate, shop, play, work, and so on and so forth?
Yeah, and actually we're looking toward a big change in the world, because I just told you about circular economy. And in a circular economy, it's different from a linear economy, because everybody is involved, from the civilian towards the industry and the logistic companies. It's a circle. Mm-hmm. So everything I do interferes with something you do or a company does. So having information on the situation and the status of a process, for instance, a cabbage like this. It's designed to be recycled, but I have to know as a civilian where to put it, into what tray. And the company who is reusing it needs to know what the quality of this cup is. So more and more information on what is where, at what point, at what time will be needed in a circular economy. So everybody will be connected in this chain. And information sharing is crucial, for making a circular chain operate.
I have the impression that you are very positive about all these changes ahead of us. Are there any disadvantages that you see?
Well, the main worry for me is that, like I said, when we did this experiment in Amsterdam during SAIL, and even when we did this experiment during the domino flooding exercises, we saw that we could accomplish a lot sharing information in a chain. But what more worries me is that even though we can show that there are big advantages in sharing information, people, companies, governments are still very reluctant in sharing information. And for me, the big worry is that I haven't seen that many changes towards the positive side of sharing information in the past years. So I'm very positive that this will happen. And I'm very positive that information sharing and data sharing will make a difference in the world. But the worry is that it's people who need to do that. And people at this moment aren't very willing, so they have to change their attitude.
Do you understand that there are valid privacy concerns behind this reluctancy?
Of course, it's privacy, but privacy sometimes tends to be an excuse for not sharing information. And this is an old thing, and I'm not telling you anything new. But I think that the real business case for sharing information, the real having a real reason for sharing information is still to come. People still don't see the urgency, the big urgency for sharing information. So this is coming up, and this will be the reason will be circular economy. The reason will be cybercrime, and don't let cybercrime and sharing information. But cybercrime is another reason in not sharing information or not using digital means for doing business or for daily routines. So there's a lot of struggling ahead in changing the attitudes towards sharing information.
Is there any way of creating innovative ways of sharing data in a way that privacy concerns are simply going away, because the individual doesn't have to fear that his or her private information is actually shared without reasons or without purpose, or with another purpose than originally planned?
Yeah, and I think that still coming back on our own strategy is using real-life testing grounds where you can show actually what the benefits are, and that it's not dangerous to share information, and that actually there's the balance between profit and risks is a good one. So you have to show that and build reputation. And the funny is, we are sharing information with banks and all kinds of institute, and that's built on reputation, because if we share this information and nothing bad happens, people tend to believe that it's safe. Mm-hmm. And the safety, from my opinion, will never be an actual, real safety. It's always about reputation. Mm-hmm. Show us, show the world, show the people that sharing information doesn't lead to big calamities, mm-hmm. Leads to profit. Mm-hmm. Show that and build a reputation that data sharing is a good thing, actually.
Right. So what are the most important steps ahead of you in the next couple of years?
I have to think about that. For me, it's creating 2 or 3 real cases where we can show that information sharing in a chain where civilians are involved, businesses are involved, government is involved, knowledge companies like the universities are involved. Mm-hmm. That there the chain of sharing information leads to a big profit. Right. And having a big example, not on a tiny thing, but a real circular process, mm-hmm. where we can show that having a platform for sharing information and data will lead to actual profit and to social innovation, responsible innovation. And actually we are planning, and that's why we are here on this island, Voorne-Putten, in the middle of the biggest port of Europe. I want to have an example on this island where industry and civilians and government actually work together in a safe and more profitable information sharing environment.
Great. That is a wonderful last sentence. Thank you very much for this very informative interview on the Harbour of Rotterdam. We will turn to other examples now, but please keep this one in mind.